Hey Raiders, welcome back to another live arena battle video. This will be my first video in Gold 3. Let's start with the champions I'll use today. So here's Errol. He's in Stone Skin Lethal. Does decent damage. Here's Sun Wukong. He's in Instinct and Perception, and he's pretty fast and does decent damage. Here's Ramontu, who is in Instinct and Stone Skin. He does okay damage. Here's Goffred, who is in Stone Skin and Instinct as well, and he does decent backup damage plus his passive. Here's Narcisse, who is in Savage and Speed. And then here's Armanz, who's a bit low on speed. This was my first attempt at building, and I did not use the optimizer. So let's get started on some battles. First fight in Gold 3. Eternal Titans, and now I remember why it was so tough when I first got into Gold 2. I'll go Wukong first, he goes Taurus Marichka. I'll go King and Queen. He'll go Crixia and Lazarius. Those were not available really when I first got to Gold 2. I'm going to go Warlord and Goffred. See who he picks last. And of course he'll go with Armanz. So I'll ban the Crixia, he'll ban my Warlord, and we'll get started. So having to leave the Armanz in there, I think if you have mythicals, it's better to ban the Armanz. If you don't have mythicals, it's probably better to ban the cooldown. So Armanz is back. He got stuns on 2 of them, but Ancora should shed it. Try and put the stuns down, cleanse, strip some buffs, and I get polymorphed. So that, had I not gotten polymorphed, which I do live and die by the polymorph, I might have been okay. But he proves to be just a bit too much for me. And I'll take the loss in this first one. It was closer than it looked, but that polymorph really got me. So I drop down to Gold 2, and it's time to fight back up. So I get Frog's Jojo. I'll go Wukong first. He'll go Siphi and Arbiter. I will go Warlord. And I may go Goffred this early. I don't like going Goffred so early, but I do go with him. Because I just don't know who I want to put in for support. He's going to go Yakarl and Kymar, so I'm not feeling too bad there. I want Errol as a Stone Skin Damager, and then I'm going to go ahead and go Duchess. She's going to be tough for this team to take out so far. Right now, looking at banning the Kymar. They will go Rhonda, so that leads me to believe they're going to ban the Duchess, but they actually ban the Errol. So we'll get started. I do ban the Kymar. And they will obviously go first. They buff up. Freeze on Sun Wukong, and I put him on cooldowns. Just the A1 from Rhonda almost kills my Warlord, but then I'm able to buff up with Duchess. They do not have AoEs. Increase defense up from Goffred. Do a little bit of healing. And they have easily outrun their buffs. And Staff of Wonder gets me back into Gold 3. So we'll jump back into it. And if I didn't say earlier, I do 10 fights, 5 wins. 3 of those wins are in Gold 3. 2 of them are in Gold 2. So I get Han. I will pick first, and I'll go Wukong. I go Wukong because what I'm betting is that they're not going to go both a lockout and Armanz. And what does this guy do? He does a lockout and Armanz on his first 2 picks. So I'm going to go Warlord Siphi, and I'll be blocking the lockout. But this one's going to be tough. So I'm going to finish with Goffred and Errol, and he's completely committed to the speed. He's going to ban the Siphi, and we'll see how this one goes. He'll go first. Sheep's my Warlord, and I will strip, kill a couple of them. They'll try to take out my Wukong, and they'll get my Goffred, and then I'll finish them off with Errol. So that worked out pretty well. I left in Armanz, and I got a win. So that was my first Gold 3 win. And this will be the highest points that I've been, and I will not get higher than this today, unfortunately. So I get Renzo. He'll go Sifi first. I will go Wukong. And I'm going to go Armanz. Wukong and Armanz first for me. He'll go Crixia and Harima. To that, I will go Duchess and the King. And probably finish it off with Goffred. See who he picks last. And he goes that High Elf I don't like, and Rhodos, and I'll have to ban the Crixia and leave the High Elf. I'm going to go ahead and go with Goffred. And he bans my Armanz. See how this one goes. I don't like what that High Elf does. So he morphs, and then he stuns 2 of mine. I will buff up. Sifi is in protection. I'd like to block Revive on the Rhodos, but I'm not going to get it. So I'll just A2 right there. And I don't want to waste my buff yet on Goffred. But then I get stripped and shackled. So this one's over. So we'll go into another fight. And I'll get Mad Walker. +4 CV. I will counter with Warlord and Armanz. I'm betting that a +4 Sifi lead probably is not going to use Wukong. They're going to go +4 Crixia, +4 Arbiter. I'll go the King and Duchess again. See who they finish off with. Will it be 2 more +4s? They will go Lazarius +2 and a +3 Sigfriend. I'm going to go Errol. They're going to ban my King, and I will ban their Crixia. Winning this fight for me is pretty unobtainable, but I actually get surprisingly far into it. So I am full Stone Skin. There's not a lot they can do about that. They buff up. Arbiter strips, but then I put him on cooldown, but that doesn't mean anything with Lazarius. So I sheep. And I probably should have waited on the sheep. I should probably sheep when he has 2 down on his cooldown. And I really should have double hit there. That's why wasting the sheep wasn't a great idea. But I look like I'm in the driver's seat here. But I just don't have the damage to take out their revivers. And there again, with him stunned, I should have done my double hitter. I might have had a chance to win this, or at least be competitive, but kind of let it get away. And at this point, he's going to finish me off. I do put him on cooldowns again, though. However, Sifi resists, so I believe she'll bring back Lazarius. It's either Lazarius, or actually, he'll A1 kill my Duchess. Lazarius is now back. I will sheep the Lazarius. So I hung in there pretty well, but I just did not try to pull the trigger on Errol, and I probably should have been way more aggressive when they were unbuffed. Because I do it there when they're buffed, and it doesn't matter. So I lose. But I was actually closer to being competitive with that team than I realized. So I'll jump back in gold 2. And I'll get this guy. He'll go Wukong first, and I will counter with Warlord and Armanz. So I actually bought his 1-star Awakening before I even had the fusion finished because he popped up in the market. Then, of course, I saw the announcement for the Titan event that'll give you the 5-star, which I am going for. So he's going to go Arbiter and Ultimate Death Knight. I will go Errol, my Stoneskin Errol, and my Stoneskin Ramontu. Ramontu being a good counter to Wukong. And then they're going to go Kimmy and Astrolith. I know what they're doing with Astrolith. Like, they can ban the Duchess and then bomb the Warlord, or the other way around, ban the Warlord, bomb the Duchess. But Astrolith is not going to be enough here. So yeah, I easily ban the Wukong. They ban my Warlord. Yeah, Astrolith is going to get the kill on Duchess. Right there. Okay. Go with the Sheep on Astrolith. Try to take out the Arbiter, but couldn't quite do it. Go for the double hitter. So it's just Astrolith, and I get the stun off and UDK. Kill the UDK and finish off Astrolith. So I win that one, and I get back into Gold 3. So, fighting to get back where I was. And this is what it is when you're fighting above your tier. I'm really not Gold 3 level, but I am top of Gold 2 level. So, I'll get Lux, who will go with a 6-star Awakened Siphi. I will go Wukong and Armanz. He will go Warlord and Harima. I will go Queen and King. The reason I put the awakening that I did on Armanz is because I want them to think he's really fast, even though he's not. So they'll finish off with Elva and Garal. I'll ban the Warlord. We'll get started. They do not ban my Armanz. They do ban my King, which I thought that was a questionable ban because he doesn't particularly counter them. So I'm going to go for the Sheep on Harima and don't strip anybody. I might have got Elva. I wasn't really paying attention. Buff up with Goffred, and then Garal doesn't really do anything to me. Staff of Wonder on Harima, but she'll be right back. They buff up again with Elva. And I cannot stun, but I do want to steal their turn meter, which I can barely do. Harima goes. That's funny, Goffred actually has higher crit damage than my Wukong. So Garal's going to get a good hit in, and I'm getting destroyed. I will bring back, and then Sun Wukong, but I can't really break through this team. I had Harima killed. Now they're going to Siphi me, and I'm done. It's just tough when you're at the next tier up because you either don't have the skill or you don't have the champions to compete as well. Doesn't mean you can't compete. So I'm going to get another Eternal Titans, Sephiroth. I know I faced him when I was in Gold 2 a long time ago. I'm going to go Armanz. He's going to go Yumiko and Siphi. I'll go Warlord and Wukong. I think this guy's around 35 to 40 million player power. So he's going to go Lady Mikage and Arbyce. I'll finish off. I'm going to need AoEs, so I go with Staltus. He's a pretty big hitter for me. Which, by the way, I may build him in Stone Skin now that I have 2 defensive accessories. Then I'll finish off with Duchess. Planning to ban that Yumiko. They are loading up with Mythicals plus Taurus, so this one is going to get ugly. They ban my Armanz, and I ban the Yumiko. They'll go first and buff. Arbyce is going to go ahead and put up the taunt. Then I will block their active skills, go for the strip. That was a huge strip on Wukong. That was just a huge strip. I think Mikage probably goes for the strip here, and didn't get anything, so I'm not sure if she did or not. Go the single and double hitters, and then I'm pretty much done. He'll leave the battle, so that was a big win for me right there. So I'll jump back into it. It is hard to compete when I don't have any mythicals. Mythicals just do so much. So I'll get my first of the Oblivions, Kilobyte, who goes Taurus first, and I will go Wukong and Armanz. He will go Duchess and Warlord, so I'll go Queen and King. Pretty sure he'll ban the King here. So far, I'm feeling pretty good about this matchup. And I'll see who he picks last. He goes with Tormund and Harima. I'll ban the Warlord. I go with Goffred, and he'll actually ban the Armanz and leave the King in. So I feel pretty good about the matchup, but we'll see how it goes. So I'll start off with Wukong, and I do strip a Stone Skin. So far, so good. Hanging in there. Go for the double hitter against Harima. Buff up a little bit. Staff of Wonder on Harima. Duchess will bring her back. Trigger the Goffred passive. Tormund takes out, and then I get sheeped. I do bring him back, which makes me feel like I'm in the driver's seat here. But we'll see how this goes. Can't quite take out the Harima on weak hits, but I do with the sheep kill. Now Ancora's dead, and things are starting to go downhill from here. Trying to take out that Duchess, but she's pretty tanky. And Taurus will drop us. So I'll drop that fight. That drops me to 4 and 5. I'm just hoping to not go 4 and 6. I get another Oblivion. I'll go Armanz first. He'll go Sifi Harima. I'll go Warlord Wukong. So here I'm just trying to break even. He'll go Shuzin and... oh, what's that guy's name? Siegfried. And then he'll go Yumiko. So I go Goffred and Errol. He'll ban the Goffred. I'll ban the Yumiko. Get started. He'll go first with Sifi. Buff up. And then Siegfried will go and kill my Wukong and not do much after because we were in Stone Skin. I'll go ahead and sheep. Put him on cooldowns. They'll sleep him. But Wukong's back. And he's shackled. I'm going to do stuns. Only Harima's not stunned. Trigger the passive on Siegfried and take out the Harima. I was trying to get the stun on Siegfried. That's why I was attacking him. They are on cooldowns, but it won't last very long. So I've lost my Armanz. I do Staff of Wonder and take him out. Since I already triggered the passive from Siegfried, he did shift, but he was dead. So 5 and 5 on my first day in Gold 3. So I think that was okay. Not terrible, not great, but it was okay. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.